right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, where did this start? Started a few weeks ago with a fellow flavor member, Brolime, had a stream, and he was looking at his analytics, and I felt jealous of him. And a couple of weeks later, we had a collab stream where I was just chatting with him, and I talked to him again and told him that I felt jealous of his analytics. And he made fun of me a bit for that. But what I didn't tell him was specifically the part I was jealous of was his revenue tab on his analytics. The fact that he was making money from YouTube and that I hadn't reached monetization yet. So I was feeling jealous of him, and not just him, but other creators too. I saw a clip of Hoshiyumi Jelly, who I'm not exactly like close with, but she got $2,000 in a donation, and I just got a lump in my throat again. And then later that night, Raimi started streaming, Raimi Ricotta from Flavor, and I saw her 12-month donators, her 12-month memberships in chat, and I saw people donating like $10, and again, I felt jealous, but not just because of this. Where did this jealousy come from? Came from my financial anxiety. And not just that. I was feeling terrible about myself for feeling these feelings. Like I knew that they were wrong and evil. So this jealousy was also leading to a lot of guilt for me. And where did this, going back to financial anxiety, where did this come from? I think it comes from my parents, which I'll get into later in a bit. So that night I knew I had to do something. But before that, where did all this comparison start? It started at my 1-year anniversary. After 1 year of streaming as part of Flavor and comparing myself to all the other Flavor members and still having not reached monetization. I think I was around like 300 something subs. And the bigger thing is I was comparing myself as someone who was trying to do it full time to other people who were doing it as a hobby and were doing better than me. And I think that really bruised my ego. But that also ties into the financial anxiety of it because I wasn't monetized. And another Flavor member, Donna Darkstar, earlier that year had reached monetization thresholds, but YouTube had denied her repeatedly, saying there was like a flag on her account and there was nothing that she could do to fix it. And I tried making a post on Twitter to get some attention to that, and nothing came of it. And I realized that I don't have the weight. I don't have the audience in order to do anything like that. And it seems like if you're a small creator on YouTube, there's nothing you can do to, fix that thing that happens if YouTube screws you over with an automated bot and you can't reach a human. You don't have the audience, then you can't get any help for that. And so that also contributed. It's also currently contributing to my financial anxiety of like being able to reach monetization and do this long term. So not only that, but recently I received art. And that's a good thing, right? For free from 2 artists, Morgi Angel Cakes, and then Raimi again. Morgi drew me an emote, Raimi drawing me a character reference sheet right now. And that's good, right? But I felt anxious about it. I felt anxiety again. Why is that? Because I view things as transactional, which might be a good thing later on as a creator, potentially to be looking out for that stuff. But these people are friends. They're good people. And I think this came from, one, both my parents' relationship, which again, I'm going to get into, and 2, the bigger thing, maybe, job loss. I lost my job, and I'll also talk about that in a bit. But first, let's go to parents. Uh, how did I get this financial anxiety from my parents? How did I start to see everything as transactional from my parents? In 2008, my dad stopped finding work, or he wasn't getting as much work, and that put a real strain on my parents' relationship. And my mom has been constantly worried ever since about her not having enough for retirement. And I've been also very worried about that. And to the point where I save and I'm in an okay financial spot right now. I have savings and I'm not like in any immediate financial danger, but I can't last like this forever because I don't have income right now, again, due to the job loss. And then seeing things as transactional, again, is because my mom is expecting something of my dad, and like her support of my dad was conditional on there being, financial support from him. And now she doesn't see it that way. So that's the state of my parents. Which also leads to my childhood. Where else has all this come from? My childhood. I was the gifted kid growing up, going to school, and that led to me building a bit of an ego. And I tried to hide that ego. I tried to mask it under a layer of humility and sort of seeing myself as weak and pathetic despite getting good grades. And thing is, those are two sides of the same coin. Having low self-worth and having an overly high self-worth, they're both caused by having too much ego, which is what I got from growing up, everyone calling you smart and all the good grades and stuff like that. And with that also came some perfectionism, because getting perfect grades became the expected result, became my expectation. And I would feel nothing when I got perfect grades, and I would feel horrible when I got anything wrong. And that actually stopped me from starting content creation for a long time. But I've since gotten over it somewhat. My perfectionism, which is what got me started doing this, initially as a hobby, but now wanting to do it as something more serious. Where did that lead me? It led to me I was feeling kind of like burnt out already as a kid. Like in 5th grade, I remember I saw my parents' relationship. I didn't see any like I was wondering what the point of it all was. I had no idea what like a healthy relationship was supposed to look like. I didn't know that life was supposed to get better and you're supposed to meet people who are good to you, and I didn't see the point of it at all. And I think I was just burned out. And what I internalized about burnout is if you're feeling burned out, then you just have to do less work. And so my ethic became just to do the least work for the most result. And it stayed that way for a long time, which led to me going into computer science. And that led to me getting a job in web dev, where I continued to feel that way. And it sort of, I felt good for a while. Oh, sorry, the split there. I felt good for a while, but I think it was just masking over the whole ego thing, because now my ego was satisfied. I'm a quote unquote software engineer. I'm making good money and I don't have to work super hard for it. But also eventually I started to get bored of the work. And then that sort of idea of burnout being, if you're burned out, then it's because you're doing too much work, kicked in again. And I did the opposite of what I should have done, because I was getting bored, right? But I did less work instead of doing more work. And it led to me being even more burned out and doing less work. And that's what led to me losing my job. And now the entire CS job market is kind of oversaturated. It's not in a good place. They don't really need more junior engineers. And so now I'm sort of at a crossroads. Oh, there's my mouse. Do I go back into CS, try to get like a normal, stable job, which really seems impossible right now, if not like actually physically impossible, but like emotionally impossible because I just don't like web dev anymore. Or do I do the thing that I'm trying to do right now, which is indie dev and content creation? Right? Which I wrote off in my mind as impossible for a very long time as well. Because I'd only heard terrible things about the game industry. I'd heard that, the social media is oversaturated and that, there's so many people who try and make it and they all fail. So that's why I went into web dev in the first place, to get like an easy well-paying job. But now that seems impossible. And this also seems impossible. But I actually care about this. I have passion. I'm actually willing to put in effort towards this. And so that's where I've been headed for, I suppose, the past year. So where was I on that night when I was watching Raimi's stream? I saw the donations in chat. I saw the memberships in chat. I was feeling so down on myself and guilty and jealous, and I had this lump in my throat. I knew that these feelings were wrong. I knew I had to do something about them. So I meditated. Meditate. I meditated to try and work through those feelings. And what did I come out with? I said to myself, I'm going to forgive everyone who's wronged me. I'm going to forgive everyone who hasn't wronged me, the creators I'm jealous of. And I'm going to forgive myself for having these feelings of jealousy and feeling guilty of it. I let that go. I let go of the guilt and the jealousy through that. And I had a good cry. I cried. I let out a lot of emotions that night. And then afterwards, I came back to Raimi's chat and we talked a bit about these feelings of anxiety, of the numbers brain, the Menhera and all that. And it helped. It helped. So thank you for that. And lastly, what am I going to do about this going forward? 1, meditate. I'm going to meditate. But I can't just say what I'm going to do. I have to understand why I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. So why meditate? Because it clears my mind. It avoids unproductive emotional states. It helps me notice thought loops, negative thought loops. And I should notice those thought loops without judgment and understand that's my mind trying to protect myself, and it's okay. And I should love myself. And I should accept. I need acceptance. I need to accept my current state. I need to understand that, some people grow faster, some people grow slower. But comparing yourself to others from like an emotional point of view and not like an objective analytical point of view is not helpful. And you really need to compare yourself to yourself. And also, I need to accept that there are things I can't control, like Donna not reaching monetization and me potentially, having to face the same issues that she had. Right? I can't control that. All I can do is, maybe come up with a plan. My plan right now is I'm gonna beg. I'm gonna try my damned hardest to make as big of a shitstorm on social media as possible, which I can barely do on my own, but I can beg larger creators for help. And I think that's all I can really do, but that's my plan if anything like that happens to me. But I can't control it. So I just need to be okay with that and, keep working towards it. Without that worry about the things you can't control. And I need to touch grass. Why? Well, not just touch grass, but like go outside, exercise especially, right? Take care of your physical health. Why? Because physical health and mental health are very linked. They're very linked. They both influence each other. And I need to stay healthy physically so I can keep doing this physically. I need to stay healthy mentally so I can keep doing this mentally. Because it's important. Because my health is important. I need to talk to people. I need to get outside perspectives. I need to, find people who can understand and just hear me out on these things, because otherwise I'm going to feel alone and isolated, and humans are social creatures. And I need to talk to people. And lastly is don't give up. Right now, my channel is at 422 subscribers out of the 500 needed for monetization. At the current rate that I'm growing, it'll be about a month and a half for me to reach monetization. So even though I tell myself it's impossible, right? Content creation and being an indie dev and making it's impossible, I still do it because I think somewhere inside me, I don't actually think it's impossible. I think it is actually a goal that I can work towards, that is possible. So as long as I don't give up, we can reach it. Okay, time. All right. Damn, 16 minutes. This was my first run through. This is also an any percent run, so it's not like this is all solved, right? But I think looking through all this kind of helped me. But yeah, I'm getting close to monetization. It's causing me a lot of anxiety again because of Donna, but like I said, I need to accept it and just keep working towards it. Because if I keep growing, then yeah, I'm gonna reach it soon. Soon in, well, a month and a half, I guess. But anyway, if you're still here, thanks for watching. And if you want to help me reach this monetization threshold, this monetization goal, which should let me have emotes, have memberships, and finally be able to raid on YouTube, which has been eating at me for a very long time. And I know that you can just donate to a streamer directly using things like Stream Elements. I have Stream Elements tipping enabled already, but it's much different when it's integrated in the platform. People want that shiny badge, and there's people want to see their big funny message in chat and have people notice it, and all that, have the streamer notice their membership badge and all, right? So even if Stream Elements takes less of a cut, even if, say, Throne donations take less of a cut, it's still important. It's still important that I reach that. Plus, having it more visible is important too, for people to actually see it. So anyway, if you want to help me with that goal, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, bye. This has been Neo Pawlino signing off.